Now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akugha. Today's package is a mixed grill of underdevelopment and insecurity in the Niger Delta, served as usual, hot and fresh. Our first report for today is centered on demands made by members of the oil and gas host communities of Nigeria during their recent visit to the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and Deputy Senate President, Senator Omo Agege. Next on our lineup is the people's reaction to the recent call by the Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, and his Ekiti counterpart, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, for immediate restructuring of the Nigerian Federation. We will, in the course of the program, undertake a post-mortem of the recent violence visited on Rivers State by the indigenous peoples of Biafra IPOB, operating under the guise of the End SARS movement. And finally, in today's package, we take you to ABIA State, where the abandonment of 2 road construction projects awarded by the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC has become a source of serious concern for communities in Osisio Mangwa and Umuahia North local government areas. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back after this time out. Don't go away.
Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, determined to make a difference.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. Disturbed by the recent threats of the reformed Niger Delta Avengers to resume attacks on oil installations over the federal government's alleged reluctance to transform the Niger Delta region, the Oil and Gas Host Communities of Nigeria, HOSCOM, recently visited Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to chart the way forward for sustainable peace and development in the region. Senator Akpabio, while responding to issues bothering the region, assured oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta of a better deal under the Buhari administration.
The 16-man delegation of oil and gas host communities of Nigeria, comprising elders and youth leaders from the Niger Delta, had brought to the table for discussion issues bordering on application of 13% oil derivation funds, non-payment of 98 billion naira gas flare penalty funds to host communities, as well as the continued underdevelopment of Nigeria's oil-rich region. The group was led by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang.
We've handled a few things. Firstly, the 13% derivation, which we've taken to almost a point of decision. We've been handling other community issues. I've also been working with them in ensuring that Mineral Derivation Commission at the federal level to apply in respect of all minerals, not just oil minerals, and that all states, particularly in the Niger Delta, set it up, particularly Akwa Ibom, Rivers and Bayelsa, which do not have. So today we said we needed to come and brief the minister in charge of Niger Delta Affairs.
At the meeting with the Honorable Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, traditional rulers and leaders of the Niger Delta drew his attention to the persistence of widespread poverty, underdevelopment and insecurity in their region, despite many years of implementing the Presidential Amnesty Program that was designed to promote rapid development to douse tension in the region.
Your Excellency, we are saying that you should throw your weight behind what HOSCOM is asking for on the issue of this gas flare payments to the host community. 1. 2, that you should throw your weight behind the host community on the issue of a pipeline surveillance. Sometimes our children will behave somehow. We may not blame them because no work, nothing, and they feel neglected.
The Niger Delta must have at least one mega city. We need a coastal road, maybe possibly a monorail on that road from Bakassi to Badagry. Those are the sort of things we're thinking of. More universities. I'm working on a university on the coast.
Senator Akpabio, in his response, commended leaders of the Niger Delta for prevailing on agitated youths in the region to give peace a chance in their engagement with the federal government. He assured them that under the Buhari administration, all agreements reached with oil-producing communities will be honored.
Every war on earth ends up on a table like this. And therefore, we cannot be firing gun and at the same time meeting. Whatever arrangement you have with the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari will be kept.
Earlier, the oil and gas host communities of Nigeria had visited Deputy Senate President Senator Ovie Omoagege to make a case for direct access to 13% oil derivation funds.
We are now informed that there is going to be a National Derivation Commission, a commission that will involve not just the oil and gas produced in Niger Delta, but solid mineral in the north, including the gold and other solid mineral found in the north. So it is a national thing now. It's not just oil and gas. But we, the Niger Delta people, the host community, we have initiated this thing to this point. And we want to appeal with you, as you usually do, to ensure that in the course of this commission, we are not silent.
I know what it means for the youth of Niger Delta to show anger. Why Nigeria can survive ENDSARS, it would be almost impossible for Nigeria to survive the anger of the youth of Niger Delta. Yes. Taking that into account, that's why I reached out and pleaded with you that whatever your grievances, sheath your swords.
It was to avert likely breakdown of law and order in the Niger Delta in the wake of the recent disturbance across the country that oil and gas host communities decided to confer with political leaders from the region. They are hopeful that prompt action will be taken by the federal government to look into their demands and douse tension in the region.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The recent call made by the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and his Ekiti State counterpart Dr. Kayode Fayemi for an immediate restructuring of the Nigerian Federation is generating positive reactions from the Niger Delta. According to some frontline advocates of a restructured federation in the Niger Delta, the unanimous call by both political leaders sends a strong signal to the federal government to quickly embark on a process of social engineering to deal effectively with the many governance challenges militating against national unity and development in the country. Correspondent Tekena Amiofori tells us more.
Governor El-Rufai, while speaking recently in Kaduna at the 50th anniversary of the Center for Historical Documentary and Research, underscored the urgent need to restructure the Nigerian Federation to save the country from an imminent disintegration. The Kaduna State Governor specifically called for constitutional amendments to drastically alter the current structure of distributing powers and responsibilities among the tiers of government. For his part, Governor Fayemi observed that Nigeria's federalism, as it is currently operated, does not serve the best interests of Nigerians. He said the recent nationwide protests against police brutality and perceived poor governance should serve to remind anyone with a semblance of power and authority that all is not well with the country. The governor's position on the flawed nature and character of Nigeria's federalist structure comes as a huge relief for those agitating for a restructured federation that guarantees a more perfect union of the country's federating units.
The consciousness of the people now have taken over the whole place, and the youths are highly agitated. So if you don't restructure now to put things in place, both the security system, the political system, the economic system, the work system, the educational system, the health system, everything, it is going to be a total reform. There should be a reform. If we don't reform it, I will feel we are doing anything. In fact, we are just living on a borrowed life.
Across the country, it is argued that over-concentration of powers and responsibilities at the center has given rise to tribalism, nepotism, corruption, and pervasive insecurity, all of which have retarded Nigeria's growth and development.
In the First Republic, the federal government only had 15 items at the exclusive list. The rest of the items, functional items of government, belong to the regions. But today, what do we find? The federal government have about 68 items in the exclusive list. In fact, the federal government want to even embark on a construction of rural roads. They want to bite more than they can chew. And the more resources you have concentrated in a few hands, the more kleptocracy will enter. The more corruption will enter.
Well, once you restructure, when one state can produce and think of what to do to solve economic problem in this state, because it's no longer running to Abuja to get money, you create jobs. So once you do that, you solve the insecurity problem we have in Nigeria.
In the Niger Delta, the campaign for a restructured federation is centered on the revenue-sharing formula that has evolved over time to the detriment of oil-producing communities. At independence in 1960, the revenue-sharing formula allowed regions to control 50% of resources produced locally. At the time, the federal government was constitutionally entitled to 20% of such resources, while 30% went into a distributive pool account. Ironically, today, the federal government takes a lion's share of 52.68%, while states and local governments are left with 26.72% and 20.6% respectively. Under the present derivation principle, 13% monthly oil derivation revenues are reserved for oil-producing states.
The 13% is not enough for the development of the Niger Delta. But from that 13%, we are paying police. Our governors are paying security. We are buying cars for police. And we fix even federal government roads.
Quite recently, in 2019, the national government, under the leadership of President Buhari, has given approval through what they call Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Development Initiative, where artisanal gold miners in the north can process gold, can mine gold, and beyond mining gold is now recognized. There's a formal framework for recognizing these mining activities. Importantly, the gold so mined is sold to the CBN at international prices. What that means is that the northern region will be richer in terms of what natural resources that come from them, and the Niger Delta region will remain poor in terms of environmental degradation resulting from activities of artisanal oil miners.
Nigeria's lopsided federalist structure is the legacy of successive military regimes. When in 1999 the country transited to democratic governance, the expectation was that Nigeria would adopt a people's constitution to enthrone a new political configuration that guarantees the general happiness and well-being of Nigerians. Sadly, the 1999 constitution, which proclaims a federal republic in principle and operates a unitary governance system in reality, was foisted on the people by the departing military authorities. Without a shadow of doubt, a restructured federation would go a long way to address the many challenges militating against the stability, growth, and development of the world's largest black democracy.
Inside the Niger Delta. Heritage Bank. Service, performance, respect, integrity, innovation, tenacity, excellence. Heritage Bank, your timeless wealth partner. Looking for irresistible luxury? Welcome to Oak Haven Hotel, located at the heart of GRA Port Harcourt, River State. With a wide array of luxury rooms to offer you exquisite comfort to the VIP lounge with wireless internet services and a fully packed bar, Oak Haven Hotel also has a dazzling swimming pool, a chill-out area, and a massage and wellness spa. For your meetings and events, our conference hall and restaurant Victoria will exceed your expectations. Oak Haven Hotel, comfort you can't afford to miss.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike last week relaxed a 24-hour curfew imposed on Oyigbo local government area following the hijack of the recent EndSARS protest by suspected members of the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra IPOB, whose activities led to wanton destruction of properties and claimed several lives in parts of the state. In their reaction, some close observers of the security situation in Rivers State and other parts of the country described Governor Wike's action as appropriate and timely, but warned that government at all levels should immediately address issues giving rise to dissatisfaction and separatist movements across the country.
In the wake of the EndSARS protests hijacked by the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra, IPOB, members of the separatist group led by Nnamdi Kanu were said to have destroyed a police station, a court building, and went ahead to kill 4 police officers and 6 soldiers in Oyigbo local government area of Rivers State. This prompted Governor Nyesom Wike to draw the battle line with IPOB and enforce the group's proscription as a terrorist organization by the federal government. Governor Wike insisted that no group should make Rivers State ungovernable as it is home to all Nigerians.
As a government, we owe our people and all residents the responsibility to protect their lives, property, and well-being, and to prevent troublemakers of all shapes and character from violating our collective peace, security, and pursuit of happiness. We have decided to reinforce, implement, and enforce the existing judicial and national ban on IPOB by putting a total and complete stop to his presence and our activities in Rivers State or any part thereof. Accordingly, as from today, 23rd October 2020, the Rivers State government has outlawed IPOB from existing and operating in Rivers State or any part thereof in line with prescription order of the Federal High Court and the federal government.
While critics of Governor Wike have accused him of pursuing an agenda to scuttle IPOB's right to self-determination, other observers of the security situation in Rivers State argue that the governor's action was taken in the best interest of his state and the entire country.
Other states should emulate Governor Wike to remove, flush out every group of people that have constituted nuisance. Nobody should encourage violence in any form. So I'm fully in support, so long as what the governor is doing is truly against those who are perpetrating violence.
Certain actions of this separatist group started veering outside the norms of civil cohabitation. It will be unfortunate, irresponsible for a governor who swore an oath to protect lives and property to allow any group, no matter their grievances or interests, to harm or maim any other group.
In their recent campaign of violence, IPOB members reportedly made an unsuccessful attempt to raise down the Mile 1 police station in Port Harcourt City local government area, an equally fermented trouble that led to the loss of lives and property in parts of Obiakpo local government area. In his reaction, leader for the movement of the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Ralph Uwazurike, accused Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader, of masterminding the recent atrocities in Rivers State. While they condemned the acts of violence employed by IPOB and other separatist groups in furtherance of their objectives, close watchers of the recent orgy of violence across the country equally enjoined political leaders to renegotiate the basis of Nigeria's nationhood and provide a sense of belonging to all parts of the country.
I believe that a united Nigeria based on negotiation is the best way forward for this country. But it must be based on a union declaration by the peoples of this country, by the native nationalities of this country.
We should be talking about fortifying the foundations of unity in this country. Going separate ways will not help. But to be honest, what we need is to heal our nations of wounds of the past. Let there be equity, even distribution of resources for development.
Following Governor WIKE'S action, law and order have since been restored in Oyigbo and other troubled parts of Rivers State. Same ambience is obtainable in other parts of the country. But the question is, how long will the current relative peace endure in a union that is threatened by feelings of resentment and mutual animosities? It goes without saying that urgent steps must be taken to address Nigeria's national question and make governance more relevant to the needs of Nigerians.
Inside the Niger Delta,
Azikel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Azikel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Residents of Umuchichi and Umukule communities in Osisioma Ngwa and Umuahia North local government areas of Abia State are unhappy about the abandoned state of 2 road construction projects awarded some 3 years ago by the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Consequently, they have appealed to the NDDC to get the contractors back to site and complete the projects. Correspondent Nelson Ajay has details.
Following an appeal by the community leader, Ngozi Chigbo, the NDDC in 2017 awarded a contract for the construction of Umuchichi 7-Up Road in Osisioma Ngwa local government area of Abia State to Pre-Hot Oil and Gas Nigeria Limited. It was no doubt a thing of joy for an oil-bearing community without a motorable access road. Regrettably, 4 years down the line, the ever-busy Umuchichi 7-Up Road is still in a deplorable state as commuters find it difficult to use the road. It was gathered that after the contractor graded the road with laterite at the commencement of work, no progress has been made on the project. Since then, there has been no sign of construction activities on the Umuchichi 7-Up Road as all the company's equipment had long been taken away from site. The deplorable state of this road has adversely affected commercial activities in the area as some residents lament.
We are asking the NDDC to call Pre-Hot Oil and Gas Nigeria Limited to order to come and do the road, or let Pre-Hot Oil and Gas be refunded money instantly, so that another competent contractor can handle the road.
For so many years, we have been experiencing the road like this. Very, very bad. We need the government to come and help us so that the road will be tolerable. See, it's spoiling the cars.
Also abandoned is the Umukele Road construction project in Umuahia North local government area. Awarded in 2017 to Messiah Global Construction and Logistics, the Umukele Road has only been graded while some parts have been overtaken by weeds. The non-completion of this vital access road leading to farmsteads in this community has impacted negatively on the people's livelihoods.
Our women, how to evacuate their crops from the farm, very far place, about 3 kilometers from here now, no way. Motor cannot go there, bike itself cannot go there because of the grading they did and they abandoned it.
All the efforts so far made prove abortive. We have even gone as far as asking why it should be like this. But later we found out that even from the answer they used to give us, that the other projects awarded by the same NDDC was also abandoned. So that we should keep on hoping one day they will be back to the site.
The people of Umuchichi and Umukele communities are therefore calling on the Niger Delta Development Commission to revisit the abandoned road construction project and ensure that they are completed in no distant time, apparently to offer them a new lease of life.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, with that report, we'll draw the curtain on the program. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. Until next week, I am Mamode Akugha, thanking you for staying with us. Bye for now.